You already know who this is, what we on. Yes, listen, this is episode 5. We finna really get into it.
Episode 5 is called The Plot Twist. So you guys heard about my childhood. You guys heard about, the things that people have done. And I know a lot of you guys are probably questioning, like, okay, you talk about your mom, but then you just like seem like you have a little bit of anger towards your mom, but yet a lot of the stuff that you said was about your dad. So here's the thing. Let me clear that up really quick. Yeah, I talked about my childhood with my father because my mom left. And so I had to talk about it because that's who was around me. So that's what I had to encounter at that time. But just because I was silent about my mother, it doesn't mean that she didn't do anything.
Play a big part.
She didn't play a huge part. So, but let's get into it. We're going to talk about a couple of things. So this is really much a plot twist, and the plot twist about this is how I got on the spiritual journey. Like I once said before, this one might be a lot longer because I kind of want you guys to have to put the two and two together, that I had to put the two and two together to find out the information that I found out. So it all started with the guy that I like to talk about, but I can't talk about. But him and I, like I said, we had that spiritual connection almost immediately. And we were like, when we were together, it was great. It was real great. And then jealousy started coming in, but I wasn't aware of it at that time. So I had a friend, like I said, it was his sister at the time. We were really close, hung out a lot, and I went to their Thanksgiving dinner one day, and I'm very observant, which I've mentioned before. So I was looking at the guy that yeah, him. 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 I was looking at him, and we were in a room full of people. And one thing I noticed about him, he was always in his head, always in his head. And so I used to pray, and I'm just like, God, like, get him out of his head. What's going on? And he used to tell me that he was an overthinker, but it was kind of worse than what I thought. So then like we was at Thanksgiving, everybody kept calling his name, just screaming his name, asking him to do this, asking him to do that. Him and I were like literally one and the same, like give, and give until we just are completely drained out. And he got to the point where he got so overwhelmed that he just like, he went like this and just like, and had to go sit down. Nobody noticed it. I was the only one that noticed it. And the house full of people, his family at that, and nobody noticed it. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh my gosh. And so they were calling his name. So I was like, just like sit down. So, I just started washing the dishes. I started helping clean up because I see everybody just kept calling his name and like, do this, do that, da, 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 da. And he got so overwhelmed and was just like, just sit, just chill. And so I went ahead and did what I could to help him out as much as I could, because it's just crazy that it was a room full of people and not one person noticed that they overwhelmed him. And so like that bothered my spirit so much. And so I went home and I like cried to God. I said, God, like whatever I gotta do, let me do it so that I can, free him. In the real world, I thought a vacation or a good night's sleep was a good thing, but Lord knows I didn't know what I got myself into after that prayer. I didn't know what
you'll do whatever you got to
do.
I got you.
I didn't know what I got myself into. So, but I prayed for him. I prayed for him every night because it's just like I felt bad that he was so in his head. He was really in his head, and I knew there was something else wrong. Not what I thought, but but I knew there was something else wrong. So I went to I got him a gift card to Massage Envy because I thought he just wanted to relax. All right, that's what I thought. That's not what God wanted. I thought he just wanted to relax. So I was like, okay, maybe just give him like a chill day that he could just breathe for a little bit. Because I was really concerned. And then as time went by, like God started revealing. So like I said, when me and him, when we connected, it was fun. We laughed, we played, like we were just ourselves. We had a good time together. But I was realizing it started becoming hot and cold One moment we were good, next moment we wasn't. One moment he talked to me, next moment 3 days later he's not. And I'm like, okay, so what's going on? But when we got together, it was just like unbreakable. Like we always found our way to each other. We always, had a good time. It was always good. But once we were apart, it was always something. I'm like, what is like going on? So I'm the type of person, like I told you guys, I'm very impatient. So I tried to leave, but God said, no, this is your person. This is your divine counterpart. And I'm like, okay, but he's not talking to me, whatever. So I lied to myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to lie to myself to make myself be okay with what was going on, because it wasn't okay what was going on, like the way I was being treated. It wasn't okay. Um, so I lied to myself, but God was telling me like, you're like, he wouldn't let me leave. I tried. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I tried, because I'm like, I'm not gonna wait on no guy. But there's a guy
right now. What's going on?
Yeah, there's a guy, and there's your divine counterpart. So what God has for you is for you. So with me trying to walk away, that wasn't happening. Like God's like, nah, not happening. Now you wait, and it's been a wait. It's been a wait. I waited on him. So I continued to hang out because, like I said, his sister and I we were close, hanging out and stuff. And then like I just started noticing weird stuff about her. And like, this is not to talk bad about her or whatever. I'm just literally telling you guys what I noticed, what I observed, and how I came to the conclusions, and how God put me in a position and find out what I would find out. So I started noticing some like weird stuff with her. So she was friends with me, and then she has another girl that she was friends with. And she kind of, okay, so when we went to this event, like me and her brother went to this event, we took pictures. And when we took pictures, like it was really popular. Like none of my pictures were popular, but he gets in the picture, and all of a sudden everybody can like something around here. But whatever. So we take the pictures and post it or whatever. And then I guess the girl found out that I had the pictures with him. And she didn't like it, like, because apparently she had a crush on him or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. There's nothing I can really do about that, because I don't care. I don't care. So, but then like I started noticing like the sister was like being really different. So she was playing two parts. Like, so she'll come to me. She'll talk real bad about this other friend, like talk about her kids, talk about her, talk about her not having electricity, talking about her kid. She talked about her child's like belly buttons and stuff. Like, you gotta be. Anyways, she was talking about the kids' belly buttons because she didn't like how big their belly buttons were. She was talking real negative. So I'm just like, in my world, if you're talking about me and you knew her way longer, talking about her to me and you knew her way longer, what are you saying to her? I can only imagine. And so then, like, this girl just started hating me out of nowhere. And I'm like, for me, I never talked to you, so how do you not like me? You know what I'm saying? And I never spoken to you. And so she didn't like me. And then, like, I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave that whole situation alone. God says, no, stay. Because God knows I'm very observant. So I stayed. And so they had a memorial for the other friends. Her brother had passed away, so it was like a 1-year memorial. And she asked me to go. And I was just like, no, I don't want to go because I don't know, one, I don't know the guy that passed away. And I felt like it's like, that's a family event. I don't want to go to that family event or whatever. She was like, oh, no, I want you to go with me, and I want you to go for my daughter or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if it's because, that was the daughter's dad. So I was like, okay, if it's going to help with your daughter, I'll go ahead and go for your daughter. And then she had hit me. She was like, oh, I just want to let you know the other girl's going to be there. And I want you to dress nice because, my brother's going to be there too. And I just want her to be jealous. Mind you, that's her. I'm like, pause, wait. So the girl, your friend, is going to be there. She's mourning the loss of her brother, but you want me to be there because, did I say his name? No, I didn't say his name. Oh, thank God. All right, so I'm good. And I'm like, you want, like the girl's going to be there to mourn the loss of her brother. Your daughter is mourning the loss of her father, but you want me to go there so that I can make her jealous while she's sad about her brother being passed away. And it's going to be at your brother's house, who everybody knows does not like drama. So you're using me to be in the
You
center.
just want me to stir the pot.
Yeah, stir the pot. And so I'm like, I was like, nah, I don't want to go. So I said no. I ended up telling her, I was like, nah, I don't want to go. Because what I did was I told her, I said, I need you to ask your brother if it's okay. And because I don't want to go to the house and stir the pot. Because that was when she told me that the brother and that girl used to date. I didn't know that. That's when she told me
What's
then.
really going on?
Yeah, that's when she told me that's when she told me that they used to date. And I'm like, oh, I was like, well, then I don't want to go there, not for drama, you know what I'm saying? I said, so you need to ask your brother, is it okay for me to go? And then she was like, no, just come. He's not going to care. I said, nah, I'm not going unless, he gives the okay, because I'm not going to bring no drama to his house. Like, that's not happening. And then she was just like, no, just come. And I'm like, nah, I ain't going. And so then the day of, and I guess apparently, I don't know what she asked him or what she said, but he had texted me and was like, oh, I hear you coming. I was like, nah, I told your sister. I said no. And then he was like, I would invite you, but it wasn't my party. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're more than welcome to come. You invite me? Heck yeah, I'm going, boy. now the roles have changed. Now, like, you invited me, boy. Yeah. Yes, I'll be there. Listen, I was going to dress nice, but she had called me. She was like, "Oh, my brother said it's okay for you to go." Da 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 da. I said, "Yeah." He just texted me, let me know, and then she was like, I need you to do me a favor. Wear a nice dress. Wear something tight. Wear something pretty, because she's going to be there, and I know she's going to get jealous. And I'm like,
she's mourning right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like for real. Like I'm like, bro, this is her. I'm like, nah. So I wore like this really loose shirt, like this really loose shirt and some shorts. I didn't get dressed up at all. Because I'm like, I'm not going to disrespect this man. Like, I'm not going to disrespect this house. I'm not going to disrespect this girl. Like, I'm not going to do that. That's not who I am. So I just wore like a red shirt and some like some appropriate clothes. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that was revealing. Nothing that was going to be like whatever. Although I wanted to because of him, but I knew the whole situation and I was like, nah. And I wanted to tell him at that time, but it's just like, how do you approach that when that's your sibling? Like, you know what I mean?
Not trying to start
drama.
Either, so it's like,
yeah. And that's, I'm like, not trying to start drama, but it's like, yeah. And then so, but like she like calls, and the reason why I'm telling y'all about this other girl, because there's a plot to all of this. I'm telling you.
That's why it's called plot twist.
Yeah, plot twist. Yeah. So
remember the title.
Plot twist. So that's the reason why I'm going in so much detail. So don't think I'm just like starting drama. And so then there is another event. I think it was like no, it wasn't Christmas. There was another part. They do a lot of get-togethers. Let's just say that. And me and her have both suggested to this our mutual friend that we didn't want to go if that other person was there. Guess what? Somehow, some way, we have all been up in the one spot, and then next thing you know, the other girl came there because she wanted to fight me because apparently I said something disrespectful to her daughter, which we all know I'm not even like on no type like that. And so she came out there to fight or whatever. Anyway, she came out there like, I don't know why people want to fight me. Like, I think because I'm so goofy in this personality, they just like, yeah, they're like, oh, I'm gonna whoop her. Okay.
Not what you want.
All right. Whatever you say. But yeah, she wanted to come out there and start drama, so I had pulled him to the side. I was like, listen, I'm gonna go before there's any extra drama or whatever, because I don't want no problems. And then they sat in my car, like the mutual friend sat in my car so I wouldn't leave until that girl got there. And I'm just like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, you know, he eventually told me later that he felt like I was the one to drama. I never got to say anything to him because it's like, how do I approach you with this when it's your sibling, like your baby sister? You know what I mean? Like, how do I approach you with this? And like I did not want to be involved. Like, I wanted to cut her off so long ago, but God would not allow me. And again, plot twist. So you'll understand why in the end, why God wouldn't allow me. So then like she was moving, and it was supposed to be just me, her, and the brother moving. Guess who was there? Yeah. So, but it was because that the brother was going to be there. And I had told her, I said, I'm not going to go if your other friend is there. Now, mind you, I've never spoken to this other girl, so we don't even have a reason to be beefing, but she hated my living guts. You know what I'm saying? And we had no reason to be beefing whatsoever because I've never said two words to this girl. And yeah, and the reason why I didn't like her because like our mutual friend, she talked so bad about her. She was just like, she just used me for my car. She's always asking for money. She did this. And I like when I care about somebody, I don't like when people, I can't stand when people use the next person. You know what I mean? And then she was always coming to me about their problems. So that's what made me just like one, I got upset because I'm like, then why are you still involved? Why are you still talking to them if you feel this way about this young lady? And then I'm just like, and then it's just like, but also the friend in me is that protector in me is just like, oh, then like, why don't you say something? If you don't say something, I'll say something. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna fight, but it's just like it got to the point. It was every day. Like she moved into her house. They're here every single day. I want them to go. Da da da. I said, have you said that to them? She was like, oh, I tell them this all the time. Then she let them borrow the car. Oh, she was in Pahokee. She took my car to Pahokee, didn't put gas, got everybody driving my car. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, it got so toxic. And I wanted to go because I don't like nobody's negative energy on top of me. And I wanted to go, but God said no. Like I had to be uncomfortable. I had to be uncomfortable. So like we were moving, and then like I had asked the brother for a hug before we left because he had a long day at work or whatever, and so they had this whole big plan of trying to make me jealous at the time because so she got in a because he was doing it in a moving car, so she got in a moving car with him and make it seem like them two were talking da da da, and I'm like, bro, you don't know me, I will leave all y'all and call it a day. Like before I argue with any of y'all, let y'all in my energy, I will leave all y'all and be like deuces. And but they're I guess trying to make me just, and then she turns around, like I give the brother a hug, and then the girl starts like going off cussing or whatever, and then the mutual friend was like, oh, let's go to I want to go to Denny's, come to Denny's with me and her. For this girl just cussed me out. I look like going to Denny's with this girl who just cussed me out. So no, I think it was Waffle House at Denny's, and I was like, I'm not going to eat after this girl just cussed me out for hugging a man that supposedly is, I guess, now her ex, or I don't even know what the whole situation was. And it's just like, I wanted to give up, but it's just like, I felt like I needed to tell him before I just went, ghost. But it's just like, once again, how do I tell you all this stuff? I didn't want to deal with this girl. Like, cause it's just like, it was always drama. Like it was always negative, and like when you're around somebody negative, you pick up that negative energy. Like I've never seen somebody that didn't like anybody. Like she talked bad about her uncle, she talked bad about everybody. Like everybody. It don't matter who it is. Like if when I went to one of them parties, I'm telling you, they have a party every other week. I went to one of them parties, and I was there before she got there, and everybody introduced me, and everybody had something nice to say. She turned around and introduced me and had something negative to say about everybody. Told me all their personal business, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, you gotta be saying something about me. Like there is no way that you sit here and talk so bad. You know these people. You know these people. This is your family, and you talk so bad. And then there's people that she was once friends with and then stopped being friends with. And she just like, I've never seen somebody wish death on some people as much as she did. She wished death on people so much. And I was just like, bro, like, I'm like, God, why am I around this girl? But I just could not get away from her. And it's not that, and I knew I wanted to get away, but I couldn't because there was a whole mission behind it. So, as time went on, the brother and I, like I said, we just became more and more distant, more and more like the communication just almost like practically stopped. And at the time, I was just like, you know what? Like, 'cause she was telling me all his business anyways. So at the time, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna stick around because the little bit I'll know, at least I'll know a little bit by her. And then that was the way we was able to see each other because we were able to see each other in like these family events. So I wouldn't be able to go to a family event had I not been around her. So I guess I could say I kind of used the situation to the better of my advantage, the best of my advantage. But I knew that at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't be able to go to these events and I wouldn't be able to see him. But like I knew there was just more to it. So as time was going by, things were just like slowly exposing. So there is this like little mashup I made with me and him when we went to the gala. Yeah, we went to the gala together, and I did this little cute little video, this little picture thing, and it ended up going like it ended up getting a lot of views on TikTok. Yeah, like I was like, it's always him. Like, I mean, I get it, he fine, whatever, but I got some cute pictures too.
Skip over those.
Like, y'all just gonna skip over those and y'all gonna see his little sexy self and all of a sudden, oh, I wanna like it. I'm just like, oh, you think he fine too? Can you go see if I look good in the other? There is like over 30 videos of me being cute and y'all go, this one video gets all this attention. I'm like, bro, what the heck, man? I was so mad. Oh my gosh. I was like, I was happy, but I was just like really, like I knew you was fine, but you gotta be way finer than I can. Like it just and it was just going up. Like I went to bed. I went to bed. When I went to bed, it was at like the first night. It was at like 100. I woke up the next morning. We were at like 2,000, and then I woke up. It just kept going up and up, and I'm just like, never did I ever get that much love. But so the weirdest thing started happening from that video. So here's the thing. Every time I post something, I always ask them because, you don't want to post anything without nobody's permission or whatever. So I always ask them, like, hey, you okay with me posting this? Because he don't have Facebook and like all these other social medias. So I asked him, I said, are you okay with me posting this? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and post it. But that video, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't ask him because I didn't think it was gonna go viral. Like, you know what I mean? I was just like, okay,
It was gonna go viral.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna go viral. And y'all had to delete that. I'm so mad I had to delete that. I should have just put it on private instead of deleting it.
You deleted it?
Yeah, I deleted it. That made me mad. But anyways. Yeah, I should have put it on private. I had it on private, but we'll get to that part. You'll understand. So yeah, I didn't ask him at that time if I could post that. I just posted because he's always told me like, yeah, it's fine, go ahead, post it, whatever. So I just posted it, but then once I seen that it was like actually getting all these numbers, I said I need to tell him that I actually posted. So yeah, I was like, so I gotta tell you something. Yeah. But I told him, I was like, yeah, but he was fine with it. He was okay. And so that's when everything, like all the weird stuff started happening from there. So you hear my stomach? But that's when all the weird stuff started happening. So of course it's TikTok, so I didn't really like acknowledge a lot of it, but we was like there were so many different psychics like hitting my inbox. And I'm just like, why is these psychics like trying to like contact me and stuff? So I ignored it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just didn't, because I never, did. Oh, I want to say there was this girl that I met. Her name is Nancy, and she was a psychic, and it was just like we just like really good friends. Like when we became really good friends, and I told her, I said, I don't know why I feel like you're supposed to be in my life. And she was like, yeah, I feel like you're supposed to be in my life too. And well, she's a psychic, she should have known, but like I feel like she should have known. But no, like, but we talked to each other, and I was like, I feel like there's a purpose for us to talk or whatever. And I didn't know what the purpose was at the time, because I didn't do none of those. I didn't do those readings. I didn't do none of that stuff. I didn't do none of that. No psychic, nothing. So never thought about even going to a psychic or talking to one. So I didn't know what she was in my life for, but I knew she was in my life for a reason. So anyways, so we did the TikTok stuff went viral, and then like we was getting a whole bunch of psychics. I'm like, yo. But, there's scammers out there, so I didn't know if it was like a scamming thing or what was what. So I just, I don't know. I just ignored everybody. But there was this one girl. She was so adamant. Like, she was on top of just asking me, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, I just want to talk to you really quick. oh, because I guess she knew that there was like those scammers and stuff out there. So she was just like trying to talk to me. And God said, listen. That's all he said, just listen. And so I heard her out. I was like, what's up? I was like, listen, I'm not trying to pay for none of these readings. I'm not trying to do any of that other stuff. I have somebody that if I did want to talk to them, like, know my future, I have somebody, whatever. She was like, no. She's like, there's something I actually need to tell you. And I'm like, okay, so what's going on? And she was like, that picture that she was like, the people, like that video that you posted, you and your guy, she was like, y'all are supposed to be together. And I was like, okay, that's good to know. You know what I mean? It was really good to know. I'm not gonna downplay that. Like, it was good to know. But like, you got my attention. Let's talk about it. But then she was just like, she started hitting it on the net, like on the head. She was like, so I had a question for you. Has your relationship been hot and cold? Like, has he been talking to you and then disappearing? I'm like, yeah. And she was like, y'all have really bad communication. I'm like, yeah, but I said and he did tell me. He told me from the get-go that he's not attached to his phone and that, he has back, like, he just isn't attached to the phone, like he doesn't communicate that well, but he would try. And so she was like, she just was doing everything on her head. Like, you felt, she even knew about the spark that I felt when I first seen him. She knew about that. And she was just like, yeah, I just want you to know he felt it too. She didn't even have to tell me that because I knew it. Like I felt it and I seen it. And she just kept calling him a twin flame. And so and she was like, I was like, oh, okay, so like, kind of wondering what the purpose of her talking to me was at that point. And so she stated that she was like, I just want to let you know that the reason why y'all are having this problem is because there's somebody that he's around that either touched his hair or touched his hand, and they did a love binding spell on him. So that must have they did a love binding spell on him. And she was like, do you believe in witchcraft and stuff? And I was just like, I mean, I've heard about it, but it's not something that I believe. Like, it's not something I do. And I told her, I was like, I don't want to be a part of the witchcraft. She was like, no, I'm not a part of that. Da, 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 da. But she was like, there's just like somebody took his hair or whatever. So mind you, my mutual friend, that other friend does his hair. So I asked her, I was just like, does it, like, I gave her the name. I said, does that like ring a bell or whatever? She was like, yes, that's the person that's doing it. And so I didn't listen to her. So I went to the girl that I told you that I felt like she was in my life for a reason, Nancy. So I went to Nancy and I was like, hey, Nancy, I got a question for you. Somebody told me this. And I guess I just want to see if it's true because, they wrote me on TikTok and it's just like, am I supposed to believe TikTok or whatever? And she was like, yeah, when I get the chance, I'll look into it. And so she got back with me like a day or two later and she was like, hey, I just want to let you know whatever that the girl said was true, that that the girl put something on him that will cause confusion, that will cause like him to, if there's any, because like, let me back up really quick. Because like when me and him, we used to try to hang out all the time. Like we will plan something and then something would happen. He always got sick every single time. Like we will plan something, he got sick. There was one time that the last time we actually hung out, we could only hang out if the family was around. Do you remember I said that? Yeah. We could only hang out when the family was around. Like if it was me and him by ourselves, we could never somehow get together by ourselves. He always got sick. So like, last time we hung out, we was at a family event, and then that next day there was a barbecue at the house, and there was that chance that me and him were going to be together. Once everybody left at the barbecue, he got sick. So the whole event got canceled. Like everything got canceled. Like he just, every single time he got sick, like he had to get his tooth pulled. One was his tooth pulled. The other, a lot of times he just got like randomly, he just got sick. And then it was crazy because once he got sick, he'll go to work and then he'll get frustrated and he'll text me. He's just like, I don't know what's going on. Like everybody's doing their job, but I'm pissed off. I'm like he didn't say pissed off. He's like, I'm frustrated, and I don't know why I'm so frustrated. Everybody's doing their job, but I'm frustrated. And I'm like, are you not noticing it? Every time you get sick, the next day, like you go back to work, you're frustrated with your team, and everybody's doing their job. And but I was the one that was noticing. Like I was noticing everything, and I knew once like Nancy confirmed, like I couldn't tell him what was going on. She even told me, she's like, don't tell him anything. She's like, you can't tell him anything because it's just going to trigger those what he got going on. It's going to trigger it, and then they're going to know. So she told me. So what happened was, like, I ended up telling the sister what was going on, and because I couldn't tell him, so I told the sister what was going on because that was my friend, and so I showed her. And she, like, I was pissed off, but she laughed about it. Like, she read everything, she seen everything, and she thought it was just so funny. Like, she showed no emotions behind it. She did not care. She was just like, oh, okay. I was like, how can you hang out with somebody knowing that somebody's doing that to your brother? And then she was like, and then she even said it. She was like, I can see her doing that. I can see it happening. That's your brother. Like, how can you, like, I don't, that's not my brother, and I'm more pissed off than you were. She was just real chill with it, like very chill with it. She was like, I can see her doing that. And I was like, so you know she's doing that? She was like, no, I don't know that she's doing it, but I know her mom does it. Her mom's into that type of stuff, but I don't think they're doing it. And I'm like, okay. I was like, well, I was like the girl, because there's like, she said that they could do like a reversal where they could send those negative spirits back to the original sender. So I told her, I was like, well, the girl said that she could do a reversal to send it back and then put a protection over him so that, meditate and put a protection over him so that nobody can send anything else back. And then she was like, oh, go ahead and do that. Like, do that for him as long as it keeps him protected. Like, so mind you, she knew about everything. And so I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm going to, since you, like, cause that was a sister, like, I don't want to be doing stuff, and I feel like, like the girl, like I would have felt like I was one of them, like doing, that weird, like, I'm not gonna call it weird because eventually I learned a lot more about it, but I didn't want to feel like I was doing any like spiritual stuff on him. But I know it was on the good side of things because even the girl that was the psychic, she was so sweet, the sweetest girl. Like she is so godly all through the church. But I was just like, okay, I got the okay from the sister, so that's fine. And so as time was going by, like she was asking, she was like, so did she do the reversal? Did she do the reversal? I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. She was like, find out if she did the reversal. And I'm like, okay. And then like when I found out that she did the reversal, I let her know. I said, yeah, she did the reversal. She was like, good. So now it's gonna be off my brother. I said, yeah, it's gonna be off your brother. And then like we were in a car one day. No. What else happened? Like, let me back up. Yeah, so she was doing a reversal and stuff. And as she was doing a reversal, my finances were going bad. And I was wondering why. I was like, my finances were just getting like real bad. Like, I'm getting all these appointments, but I'm not making any money. Like my money, as soon as my money was coming, it was going. There was people that was, faster than it was coming. Yeah, it was going faster than it was coming. And then like people were what is it called? Disputing their charges. And I'm like, why are people disputing it? Like, what is going on? Like, I went from having like thousands in the account to being in the negatives. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? And I really didn't know what was going on. And I started stressing. I stressed so bad that I like if I were to take my hair out, you would see like you could see in a little patch right here where like somewhere here, all my hair started falling out. You see where like it couldn't grip it, like my hair started falling out, and I would end up in the hospital and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what is going on with me? And I was stressed. Like I was losing weight. Like I said, I was having like it wasn't a little small patch. It was lots of patches. And then talking to my friend, she was just like, oh, looking at my head, looking at the patches, looking at everything or whatever. And so I'm just like, what the heck is going on? But I was so focused on helping the brother, trying to save the brother, that I didn't really like care about myself in a sense in that situation, because I feel like it wasn't fair that you're doing his hair and you're doing this stuff to him. So I wanted to protect him before like for myself. And but yeah, everything was crumbling down. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like something is going on, something's not right. And I just didn't know, I couldn't put my finger on it. And then I was with her one day, we went to McDonald's, and then she was really knowledgeable out of completely nowhere about all this like witchcraft stuff. Out of completely nowhere. And then she was like, oh, I learned that years ago. They taught me that in school. When do they teach anybody witchcraft in school?
Yeah, Spirit had to tell on yourself.
Yeah, like, and I didn't even say nothing to her. I got quiet. I got real quiet. And so she was just like trying to talk to me a little by a little. And I was like, I'm really like, I'm the type of person, I don't hold my tongue. If I have a question, I'm gonna ask it.
Yeah, I know.
So so I'm just like, I have a question for you. I said, are you sure you didn't know that your other friend did all that witchcraft stuff? And then she was just like, no, she don't do that. I know for a fact. I said, she was like, well, her mom did. I said, you don't think that the mom might have taught her? Because that's how it passes down. Somebody teaches the next person. She's like, oh, that makes sense. But no, she would never do nothing like that. And I'm like, okay. And so, like, the girl, Nancy, she was helping me out. And then it just kept coming to me. Like, it was different psychics. They were coming to me. Like, so since the brother stuff was under control, it was a whole different psychic that had came to me about me. She was like, you have a friend around you that is portraying themselves to be a friend, but they're not really your friend. And I'm like, nah, it can't be. Like, I'm like, it can't be her, da-da-da. Like, why would she? This is her brother. Crying out loud. She ain't going to do that to her brother. And then, like, I just kept hearing that. Like, you have a friend that's portraying themselves to be something that they're not. And I'm like, nah, I can't believe that. Like, that's her brother. Yeah, like, that's her brother. That's her brother. Like, why would she, like, be involved in that? So I asked her, I was like, yo, are you doing stuff to your brother? And then she was just like, oh, why would I do anything to my brother? I'm like, all right. And then they had said something. They're like, yeah, whoever it is that's around you, they put something on your finances. Now, let me make something clear. When you ask for protection, you got to ask for protection for everything. I protected my business. I protected myself. That's why they couldn't physically do anything to me. But I never put a protection over my finances. So that's what stressed me. That's what had me in the hospital. That's what, like, made me start falling, because they found that loophole. They found that little thing that I did not ask for protection on, and they attacked that one thing. So, like, things are starting to reveal itself. So I'm very observant. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. I lied to her. I was like, oh, because like me and her brother at that time were not even talking anymore. So I lied and I told her, I was just like, okay, yeah, I talked to your brother today. And then she's like, you talked to him? And I'm like, why is your attitude like that? Yeah, like yeah, for real. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm like, why is your attitude? Yeah, I'm like, why is your attitude like that? But I didn't say nothing. She was like, what did y'all say? I said nothing. I said, we're gonna hang out on Saturday. And then she was like, you're really going over there? I said, yeah. And then she's like, what are y'all gonna do? I said, I don't know yet. We'll see. Knowing that I ain't even talked to this man. Like, I haven't even talked to this man. I don't know what the heck he was doing. But she was just like, okay, let me call you back. And so I'm like,
I already know what's going on. It's like
and she was like, well, so let me call you back. I said, okay, cool. And so I thought of, like, I was just thinking about it, whatever. And I'm just like, so I told her one day, I said, hey, I gotta focus on myself for a little bit. I just want to, like, focus on my finances a little bit and just stay away. She was like, oh, but you can still hang out with me. She always wanted me by her. Like, I just, like, I'm not that clingy. For my guy, okay, I don't mind that. For a friend,
I need a little space. Huh?
Yeah, no. She wanted to do everything together. She was calling out of work every day. Let's do this together. I'm just like, girl, no. Like, I don't know. So, but I hung out with her for a week. because I wanted to see something. Like, no, I took time off for a week, and my finances just started growing. Everything was going good. I was like, I wonder if I hang out with her for a week, if my finances will start dropping. So I hung out for her a week, stayed the night and everything, just chill with her. You know what I'm saying? Finances going downhill. I'm like, uh-huh. So, yeah, like I said, I am very observant. Like, I'm so observant. So I'm just like, okay, so my finances are going down again. And she did not want me to leave her side. And I'm just like, and then she's always asking, hey, did Nancy do this? Did Nancy do that? No. And so one thing about it is a psychic knows when another psychic did a reading on somebody. So she was telling me, she was like, yeah, I just want you to know your friend, she did a reading on you. And I was just like, okay, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. Because I know me as a friend, I'm a genuine friend. So, but it's just like, so what do you get a reading for? But I didn't even ask her exactly what it was, like, that she got a reading for, because I know I was a genuine friend, so it didn't bother me. And so, like I said, there was that other girl that was telling me about my finances, like, there's somebody attacking your finances, da-da-da. So, like, there's a night that, like, because I knew about what was going on with their brother. And then the girl that was telling me about my finances, she was just like, I need you to know, whatever you got to stop talking to her, because everything you're saying, she's going back to the other girl and telling her. And but I had already said all that stuff before, what was going on. I had already said everything. So they end up hitting him with, like, the reversal ended up working, but they end up doing a whole nother thing on him, a whole nother spell on him, because they knew that I was, like, I was helping him. They knew I was protecting him.
So they opened the score and they
so they had one up on me, because I didn't know that the sister was, like, involved in all of that stuff. So they had one up on me when it came down to that. So then I'm trying to think. I'm trying to make sure I said everything right. Because, there's some things I can say, and there's some things I got, like, not now. So oh gosh, I'm going blank. I guess I'm not supposed to be saying this, or the spirits are not don't want me to say it. Like the negative spirits, like, because I'm going blank now. Yeah. So anyways, the sister. I like, she was one step ahead. Like, she was one step ahead, because she was already telling this girl everything. Apparently she was, like, telling the girl all my business and stuff too, like, a little bit that she knew. And one thing about it, I'm not ashamed of nothing. So she was telling the girl all the business and what was going on. So they were one up on me. And so everything that I thought I was protecting him from, I slipped up and, made that mistake. And so I ended up finding, when I learned that she was so involved, I couldn't say anything. Like, at that point, I wasn't allowed to say anything. So I distanced myself. I just completely distanced myself from her. I didn't say nothing negative to her, or I didn't tell her I needed a break. Nothing. I just distanced myself for a full week. And that's when, like, things hit the fan. Like, she got her feelings. She started talking bad about me and stuff like that. But I couldn't say anything because I knew she was involved. I knew her involvement. And so when I took that week off, when she went to talking trash and telling people that, oh, I'm going to make sure her and my brother are not going to be together, like, I knew, like, God said it's time. Like, it's time. So what I said to her, I was like, I got a question for you. I said, are you like, did you put black magic on me? Did you do, like, witchcraft on me? That's all I said. Did you do it on me? She was like, I would never mess up your finances. Why would I mess up your money? Like, I always supported you. I didn't say nothing about my finances. Like, and that was what she attacked, was the finances. I didn't say nothing about my finances. I said, did you do it on me? And she told her herself. And I was like, all right, cool. I ain't say nothing. I didn't even say, like, I don't even, like, to this day, she don't even know that, like, she messed up. She was the one who told her, like, yeah, she gave me that confirmation. So God said, it's time. So I sent the brother, I got text her. I said, listen, I already think it's really, I said, you're a low life person. Like, you're a very negative person. I said, for you to attack me, because, like, I found out that the other friend had our picture, our gala picture, and she buried it in the backyard and did some voodoo stuff, I guess. And I was supposed to have a sharp pain in my stomach, but I never received it because it didn't work on me because I'm divinely protected. So it didn't work on me. So they just like they went for my finances or whatever. But like they did not want me to get this message out. it's like I'm going blank.
Oh, that's what it is.
They do not want me to get this message out. Huh?
I got some for that. I got some for that. Don't you worry about it. That's how I be.
They did not want me to get this message out. Like, don't tell the world that witchcraft is real. But yeah, I'm drawing blanks. You gotta put it around me.
No, seriously, they don't want.
They don't. Yeah.
No, the truth need to be told.
Yeah, they don't want me because I'm drawing blanks. I'm drawing blanks right now, and I know the story because I lived it. So yeah, I know writing her. I was like, yeah, you're really like a low life, like. To come for me is one thing because you don't owe me no loyalty. Like when I tell you really, I was more mad about the brother. Like I feel like I got me at the end of the day. I will always have me. But it was more so the brother. Like, why would you do that to your brother? Like that is blood. That is like, yeah, like I was so mad that she did it for like to her brother. And but God said it's time, let him know. So I didn't want to let him know. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't want to let him know. I was like, nah, I'm going to let it go. But God would not, he would not let me sleep. Like I was tossing and turning. I was hot, cold. I was just like, I tried to close my eyes. He would open them bad boys right back up. I said, okay, I'll text him. so I ended up texting him, letting him know. I'm like, I had a nice little message, but in a sense, just to make a long story short, it was like, hey, it's 1 a.m. I'm just going to let you know when you wake up, you're going to see this whole long text message about witchcraft. And of course, like his reaction, he probably feels bad about his reaction, but I knew he wasn't going to react. Like I knew it was going to be, oh, I'm Team Raquel. Like one, we had just met. Like it was new for us. Like everything was new for us. I knew I'm going against his sister and a long time family friend. But one thing about it, I'm very observant. So when I gave him this information, I didn't just tell him to tell him. I know him so well, like he doesn't even like understand. So he is a by the books type of person. If something doesn't make sense, he's not going to sleep until it makes sense to him. So I didn't go, when I explained to him what was going on, I didn't tell him every little detail that I knew. I gave him just enough because I knew he was going to do his own research. And I knew he was my divine counterpart. So I knew God was going to reveal it to him because he was not going to stop until he knew. So I didn't talk bad about her. I didn't talk bad about them because I knew how he is. He doesn't like anything being unsolved. So I knew he was going to lose sleep. I knew he was going to question things. I knew he was going to try to put two and two together. I knew he was going to probably make rash decisions and stuff just to get it off of his mind because he's already in his head already. So, but I knew he was going to search for that answer until he got that answer. Then he would have felt whatever way he felt. So I didn't go in. I didn't go in all details. What I did was I gave him all honest, like all screenshots between me and Nancy. I gave him the information that, when I posted the video, what the girls were saying to me or whatever. I gave him everything. I just gave him enough. And then I just let him figure it out from there. I didn't even talk negative about nobody. I did tell him that I was very honest. I was like, your sister's like really jealous of you. Because like she's very jealous of him. And the only negative things I said is that she's a negative person and that she's very jealous of you. Other than that, I didn't have nothing else negative to say because that's not my place to be talking bad about her or whatever. But I knew that he was gonna end up finding that out. And like I don't hate them. I don't hate neither one of them because it woke me up. That was my spiritual awakening. Like it woke me up. I realized there is more to the world than just having that spiritual side. There's people out there that is really playing into that witchcraft. My advice is for every man to go to a psychic because it's the women that are doing it the most. It's the women. If they don't get their way, they're like, As soon as they get mad, if they can't physically fight, they go to the spiritual world.
That's what's going on nowadays.
Yeah, that's what's going on nowadays. So since I did what God asked me to do, since I did what God asked me to do, God gave me my own spiritual gifts, to be honest with you. And then he started revealing stuff. That's when my walls started falling. That's when people started, I started losing people left and right. So then I realized as time was going by, I was kind of focused on them two and their witchcraft life that they had going on. And then I was blinded to find out that my mom was actually part of it too. My mom was doing witchcraft on Art, like me and his relationship too. She didn't think I was going to know it was her because I was so focused on them. But I isolated myself from so many people. So God started revealing everything. We're going to have to make another part. We're going to have to make another part.
Wrap it up already?
We're going to wrap this part up because that's just that. The plot twist is, there's going to be different sections on the plot twist because I want it all to make sense. I need it all to make sense. So plot one, because if I get into this next subject, it's just going to be...
All right, this plot twist one.
And I'm going to get some food because my stomach is tired of but yeah.